one. Sorry, boys. If you're in the Mid-Atlantic and looking for your next toy, I really hope you check out Blue Ridge Power Sports located in Harrisonburg, Virginia. All their information is listed in the description below. If you're after a Honda, KTM, or Can-Am, they've got you covered. They have competition motocross, enduro, and cross-country bikes. They also carry sport quads and utility 4x4s from Honda and Can-Am. Every customer is treated as if they want your business and for you to return in the future for your next machine. I really hope you consider Blue Ridge Power Sports for your next purchase. Trust me, you'll have a great experience. Well, there you go. There's how to not start a hare scramble. Don't start your bike before the green flag drops, and don't start off in neutral either, because then you'll be in the last part of the wave here. So I started right next to my brother, so we are pretty much together, and most of the J class is ahead of us. This is the final race of the 2024 VCHSS season, and this is C class, baby. Keeping it real. This is the Don Weiss Memorial Race, also called the April Fool's Race, and this is at Oak Ridge in Arrington, Virginia. Awesome track, awesome conditions. We really got lucky. Super dusty, so the grass tracks were a little bit dangerous just because visibility. But other than that, wow, perfect. I'm finishing the season off on a 2024 KTM 300 XCW. Absolutely love this bike. Make sure to hit up Blue Ridge Power Sports if you want one of their 2025 bikes. They've also got all the brand spanking new Hondas and all the brand new Can-Am Outlander ATVs, their single cylinders that they just came out with. My buddy got one of those, and man, are those nice. Yeah, there was a decent amount of grass track at this race, but because of the dry, dusty conditions, the corners were a little bit slick. Still a decent amount of grip though. And this also marks the 1-year anniversary of the race where I separated my shoulder. October last year. I only saw about 8 minutes of this course, so that was a bummer. Got 3 laps in and I didn't crash. Man, it was so cool to see everyone out there. It's such an exciting time, you know, the final race of the season. There was like the 40+ C had an awesome 3-way race for the championship for those guys. Just a lot of exciting racing going on, but just kind of a bummer too because race season's over. Gripping and ripping, feeling good. Didn't take a single sip of water the whole race. Does anybody else do that? Do you go fill up your Camelback or your USWE and just not drink any water? Golly. I typically only do that on those hot summer races where I'll actually stop to take the time to grab my nozzle and drink water. Anywho, pretty tight course, surprisingly. I mean, there were some spots like this where you could kind of make passes on people, and the forest opened up a little bit, but there were enough saplings.
Joe, you okay?
Oh yeah, Joe, jeez. He banged up his knee pretty good. All right in the end, he ended up getting back on his bike and passing me and actually getting a solid 5th place finish. But yeah, I bet he's still sore right now a week later as I'm putting this video together. Yeah, some places were a little bit tight for passing, but so you just had to be a little bit selective, a little bit careful, but for the most part, good all-around track. I will say too that this track is one of those that are like really good for a 4-stroke. It was fast and flowy, and the really tight sections were pretty few and far between, not to mention all those grass track sections where you could really let her eat. Yeah, much faster course than average for sure, which made it fun. Every track's a little different. I got the green map going on here. That's the full go map. you really notice a bigger difference on the bottom half of the rev range. The white map is just a little bit softer on the bottom, better for slippery conditions, like a lot of silt and dust, or mud, and that's some really good bridges too. There was only one bridge that was really slick where you had to be careful going over it. This section back here is shaded too, so there's a lot more grip, very little if any dust, actually no dust back here. Yeah, you could really pick up some speed. We had a huge class for the morning too. So for VCHSS in the morning, it's all C-class racers. I think racers. There's a couple B classes in there for the older groups, but for the most part, all the Bs and above will race the afternoon race. So a lot of people raced both today, which was pretty cool. Man, right here, we had a really good battle this first lap. Back and forth a little bit, and I kept trying to make passes here. But it was tough. You had to be really choosy. I think I try right here, maybe? Yeah, try and fail. Just looking for any spot where you can kind of sneak out in front, but right there, that's the example of the price you pay if you try one of those non-existent hotlines. Can get caught up. So I'm still ahead of my brother here. He does ultimately beat me by about a minute and a half or so. So he got me today. He did say though that in order to beat me, he cut like 4 or 5 miles off each lap. So I don't know. I haven't told the race organizers that yet, but see, like right here, not super conducive for passing, but plenty other spots. Yeah, here's that slick bridge. You can kind of hear my tire spinning on it there. You just want to hit that with momentum so you don't have to touch the throttle or brakes on it. Then you can sail right over it. Still decently tight through here. I'm running the same AT81 that the bike came with in the rear. Got it down to about 8 PSI for this one. That worked out well for a worn out tire. We'll put a freshie on for next season. Another nice open grass track section. There in the yellow, the green, yellow, and black right there, that's Joe. He's suffering from a little bit of arm pump, it looks like. He's in my class. But here's the dust. Not right here, but on some of these sections, you had to almost like let up and let the person go ahead of you a ways, so you could actually see a little bit of the trail. At least this first lap, when you're getting to know these sections, any surprise ditches or logs or anything, you definitely want to know where those are. I had a couple of sections too on those open grass tracks where I had a little bit of the death wobble. Yeah, there I am taking the coward's way out. I was trying to get around him for probably 15 to 20 minutes. Just couldn't find a spot, and I finally relented and I gave the woo-woo instead of just passing. Now, I personally always try to just pass if I can. It's very, very rare that I'll let out some revs or yell out the woo-woos. I'm also not gunning for a championship or anything. Mostly just out there having a good time. Little bit of death wobble here and there. Yeah, this was good. I actually got into 4th and 5th gear in the woods at times. And of course, hitting 6th out in the grass. Fast course. And with the leaves like half falling off already, you can kind of see the course a little bit better. Because the line's burnt in because of all the fresh fallen leaves. So you get good visibility of the actual primary line. And you can actually see pretty far ahead too because of the lack of leaves. That was a nice deep muddy rut right there. I got a couple people caught up. But I think we're about to hit the last grass track to end out this first lap coming up here soon. A lot of epic battles through here. And at the beginning of the race, at the riders meeting, they said they're going to keep an eye on people for going outside of these hay bales. They want you going between them. So I missed one coming up here, and I ended up circling back because I didn't want to be docked like, I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute. They didn't say how much they were going to dock people, but you can see all this dust, and it's worse in real life. Like when you're looking through the goggles, you're trying to get on the edge to see, and here I just take it too wide. Completely missed that hay bale. I'm like, I just got to turn around. There goes Joe Marsh. So I think I finished like 10th or 11th somewhere in there, and Joe ended up getting a solid 5th. So here he is back with me, ending the first lap, approximately 10th place, we'll say. He ends up getting 5th place, so he had to work his way up through the pack this final hour of racing. Very impressive. Come through scoring. Feeling good. Just that dust, that's it. That's the only big issue. But everybody's dealing with it. And that sun glare is very real too. What you see on camera here is exactly what I'm seeing in real life. Just, you really had to artificially like lower your head even more just to use that visor. I always run clear lenses for these races just because you're in and out of the woods too much. Yeah, I could have hit that log hop way faster. That was just like a bike preservation thing. I didn't want to like pop a tire or get a rim out of true or something like that. Which reminds me, I gotta go check my spoke torque. It has been a minute. Waving people on. Oh yeah, crazy little crash up here. Not me, but someone else. I think it's coming up here. Yeah, I hear the 4-stroke behind me, so I kind of let off to the side to let them by. Oh! And they caught a little tree. Kind of got ejectocitoed from that bike there, but they're all right. They kind of rolled right out of it and bounced up. Good example, though, of like, even those smaller trees can reach out and just grab your bike really hard. They'll get you. So there's my bro, lap 2. I ended up letting him by. Sometimes if a person's behind me and I can just tell that they're a little bit faster, I'll just move over real quick, let them by. So that was just one of those scenarios. And I hang with him for quite a bit, but ultimately gently pulls away on me. Dust isn't too bad right here. Man, look at that blue sky. There's my buddy Tim. We ride together for a good amount of time, I think on the second lap and possibly even the third as well. So it's cool to be behind him. Good 15, 20, 30 minutes maybe. He's definitely faster than me. He starts a couple rows back, so he's already caught me by this point. Holy panic revs. In this wide open interstate of a forest too. Like, I don't know. Looked like to me there were plenty of places to pass right there. But hey, you know, some people just resort to the revs no matter what. Woo! So I almost lose it around that corner, and then my other friend Nathan goes by. He's also in a couple rows behind me, so he's caught me by this point. Oh, sneaking in the pass on the outside. Nice. But I know Nathan, he's always a smidge faster than me on average, so I can hang with him for a while, but typically he's going to beat me in the long run each time. So we do catch back up, I think because we got caught behind some riders and things. So I'm like, all right, I'll try and hang with Nathan here for a while. Sweet. Sure enough, we actually ride together for quite a bit. But I know that the open grass track's coming up before the finish, so I'm like, I'm going to try and pass him. Let's see what happens. Knowing he's almost certainly gonna beat me by a minute or two or three or four. I always love these mini races in the greater race. So I'm battling Nathan here, who's not my class. Like, you know, it doesn't matter at all. But it's just fun out there riding with your buddies. Back in the dust. I think Floyd also gets me here. There goes Floyd 11S. Is he coming up? Yeah, there he is. He's on a faux 50. And there ain't no catching that thing. But I still know Nathan's up there. Look at all this dust. So you're coming into a corner. Dude, there could be a rider down. You're kind of taking a high risk doing that. Like right there. There could have been anything there. Little sketchy. Little sketchy. Couple more turns here. Oh, Nathan takes it wide. Maybe I can get up. I had another good battle with someone else on the final lap right before the finish. Just pin it. There you can see Nathan's front tire right there. We're right next to each other. Look at the shadow. So I sneak in ahead of him here just to get through scoring. Woo! White flag, last lap. I was out there for almost exactly an hour and a half. Again, so I know Nathan's a little bit faster than me. overall. So I'm trying to push it. I'm trying to go. Fend them off for as long as I can. Little bit off camber, little bit slick, just because of that dry dust. Catch back up to Tim here. I think he's on the 2019 XCW. Yeah, Tim, baby. There's that sun in your eyes. So I think I goof up almost washed the front tire out and I stalled it. So I just waved Nathan on. I'm not trying to hold anybody up. Not trying to bottleneck, and I'm thinking, all right, well, maybe I'll catch him again. And sure enough, as a good friend does, he makes it easy on me. Because he stalled it out. And I thought I was going to have enough room right there to sneak by him real quick and get out ahead of him, but I just didn't. So actually, I got to ride behind Nathan here for quite a good amount of time. He'd pull away a little bit and catch up, maybe get caught behind a rider or something, but good third lap here. Like right there, I probably could have been up a gear right there, no problem, but log hop. Still hanging with him. Just a great track. This is one of the rare times where I think I would have loved to have gone out and done a fourth lap. I was actually feeling good by the end of this race. Yeah, there's all that dust. Still hanging with them here through this little slightly muddy section. He's on a 250 FX. Oh, get a little squirrely out there. Still letting the faster folks by. And there goes Dr. Rick Weatherald. He hopped in the queue line this race. I think he said it's his second time on the bike post ACL surgery. So definitely trying to ride smart, ride safe, just getting a feel for it, slowly getting back on the bike. He's an A rider, super fast. So good to see him out there. So he had a good race, just kind of part of his rehab. He's the doctor who helped me rehab my shoulder after I separated at this race last year. So, very beloved in the VCHSS family. Closing out lap 3 here, we got our final little epic-ish battle. I think I almost... Yup. Woo! Another situation where I almost washed out the front tire there. That was the closest I came to crashing. Kept her on 2 wheels this race. Pretty cool. Yeah, here we are. Grass track time. So you're not going to see him for a little while, but I can see the rider out of like the corner of my eye on some of these turns. And we are neck and neck. Definitely pushing the limits. He ultimately passes me right before the finish, but I definitely make him earn it. Yeah, you can't see him right there, but he's right there, like on my shoulder, just off the back tire there. Couple tight turns left here. I think this is where he gets me. Could be the next turn. There he goes, there he goes. Oh, I braked too hard. Braked too hard right there. I'm definitely kind of at the edge of my comfort level for speed going through this, especially when there's, a trail of dust ahead of you and you can't really, have perfect vision there.
Yeah, baby!
That's cool. I love those little battles. Well, great 2024.
Yeah, that was cool.
Thanks for watching.